Hello, Inez here, and thank you again for joining me on Core Growth Strategies, Positivity, and Success Stories. My guest today can be heard on Disney's Broadway show, Aladdin. He is a musician, an innovator, and now a children's book author. Following his passion at a young age, he has just released his first album and currently working on his second. I am happy to introduce trumpet player extraordinaire, Augie Haas. Well, good morning. Hi, Augie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course.
Yeah. So you have been, doing a lot lately with your album and Aladdin and your author. I mean, you've got a lot going on.
A lot going on. It's good. I always say. My grandpa always said, "An idle mind is the devil's workshop."
Oh.
So I try and stay busy.
Well, part of this project that I've been doing is to spread positivity and let people know that, every one of us hits obstacles and challenges in life.
Of course.
And, everyone that I've been putting on this interview on this show has overcame these obstacles. And, there's people ranging from all different industries.
Yeah.
And I want people to know that, all of us, no matter what we're doing, we go through the same type of challenges.
Yeah, of course.
That we are capable of moving forward. And, this is to help inspire people to go after what they want to do.
I like it.
So you and I met in a very interesting way.
We did.
Do you want to tell the story?
I just remember that you were trying to take a selfie, but it really wasn't working out. So I offered to take the picture for you.
Right. And it was in the streets of New York City.
57th Street.
Exactly. Yes. We were, me and my girlfriends were going to the Harry show at the time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you were a trumpet player there for his band.
Yep.
So going back, we first met in New York City on the streets. And it just goes to show that you never know where you're going to meet someone and develop a friendship.
Exactly.
So tell everybody, tell us about your journey on how you started becoming a musician.
Well, it all starts with they line up the instruments in 5th grade, and I went home to my parents. I was like, I really want to play an instrument, but I'm the youngest of 5 kids, so all my siblings had played instruments and failed miserably. So my parents were like, you can do something else because we don't want to waste our money again on renting the instrument and all the lessons and all the things. I originally wanted to play French horn. They're like, no, you're gonna play trumpet with a name like Augie. It sounds more like a trumpet player. I was like, cool, just give me an instrument. So they let me play, and then I just loved it from day one. Always wanted to practice, and I had a great band director in high school who kind of, really encouraged me and was, very supportive of, my interest in this. And so then I went to college, majored in music at Roosevelt University for my undergrad. Had another great teacher, or several teachers there, and started to get recommended to Miami to do my master's and doctorate at the Frost School of Music, and started to do more gigs there. And and just one gig kind of led to another gig, and then before I knew it, I was kind of making a living doing this.
Oh, so
is the quick version of that.
The quick version. Yeah. Now, I've heard that musicians go through a process of being a struggling musician. Did you experience that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's obviously some of those months like, ooh, I hope I can make the rent this month. I was, I'm young, and, if it doesn't work, I can always do something else, but at least I gave it a shot, but, I think you just have to, being a musician is like anything else, entrepreneur, it's like a startup, it's going to take a while, and you need to establish yourself. And, you're competing with people who have done this for so much longer. Like the guy sitting next to it at Aladdin, he's been playing in New York for, 30 plus years.
Wow. And, so obviously developing relationships is very important.
Yeah. Like in any career, the musician community, I think at a certain level is pretty small. So, it's good to, it's good to develop those relationships,
Well, what's interesting was I remember when I went to see Aladdin and you were talking to a couple of the actors, you actually went to college with a couple of them, didn't you?
Yeah. Courtney Reed and she was the original Jasmine. She's no longer there. We went to Roosevelt, Major Attaway. We also went to Roosevelt together. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's, like I said, it's a small world. And, how many years had passed before we had reconnected. So, the world has a funny way of working itself around like that and reestablishing and, bringing people back in, all the things.
It's true. You never know. These different paths we take and somehow they come back together again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, all right, you just released a new album.
I did.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So exciting.
Thank you.
So
very exciting. It's called Have We Met? And I'm really happy with it. Really proud of it. I think the band sounds great. Yeah, and couldn't be more excited. We're already planning the next one.
And you're on tour?
I have been touring a bit. I've been touring with different artists. I was just in Ireland with a great jazz composer, Grammy-winning jazz composer, Maria Schneider.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Europe for a few weeks this summer doing my own thing with the album and some teaching, and just in Miami this last weekend doing I used to be part of this organization called Guitars Over Guns, and I was one of the original mentors, so I went down there for that. So yeah, staying very busy.
Well, that's fantastic. I love that. I think part of being successful too is giving back to
absolutely
those that are less fortunate. And no matter how bad we think we have it, sometimes there's always people that have less than what we do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel pretty fortunate to play music for a living,
Yeah.
A lot of other things we could be doing,
there's something about listening to live music. Like, I just get chills every time I hear it live as opposed to a recording.
Yeah, of course. You can't recreate, live. There's no substitute.
No, not at all. And I took Mateo to see Yanni over
the
summer.
Cool. And my buddy plays trumpet with him.
Are you kidding? Really?
Jason Carter. Yeah, he's a great trumpet player.
Oh, fantastic. I know Yanni's daughter. That's how I ended up at the concert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And wasn't sure if Mateo plays piano.
Mm-hmm.
Never brought him to an instrumental concert. And thought, all right, you know what? I'll give it a shot. See, and he was just captivated the whole time. Yeah, so as you said, there's nothing like live music, and you could really feel that energy going through you.
Yeah, I might be biased, but I agree.
Well, my husband played trumpet too.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Might be a little bit too. All right, so so many amazing projects. Also,
exactly.
Tell me about the H-Bomb.
H-Bomb is doing well. It's it was kind of just a fun little project I did. I was sitting around with my buddy and I was like, what if we made a mouthpiece that also was a beer opener? I think we just couldn't find a beer opener, but obviously we're trumpet players. We have mouthpieces sitting all over the place. I was like, we just need to make one because we always have our horns and mouthpiece with us that does both. Mm-hmm. So it seems to be selling really well. Terry Warburton down in Florida, who makes my mouthpieces, is the manufacturer. He's making them for me.
Mm-hmm.
And people seem to like them. They send me so.
I saw the commercial for it. It's fabulous. I love it.
Yeah. We just did a jingle for it too, which is kind of funny. I'll have to send it to you.
Yes, please do. And you mentioned that you just wrote a children's book. What's that all about?
I did. It's just about a little kid who discovers music and then, practices and blows off his friends. And then he wants to show his friends his hard work, but then gets very nervous kind of story. So just a fun story about, kids and music.
Do you have a release date anticipated?
What's that? Sorry.
Do you have a release date that you know of?
I need to finish illustrating it, and I've just been so busy. It's kind of been neglected, but I'm giving it a hard push into the new year. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
So with all these different projects that you're involved in, how do you manage it all time-wise, along with with your personal life? How do you balance everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it takes planning like anything else. You just have to carve out time for. I asked this guy once, I said, hey, man, how do you find these things? He goes, just between, just prioritizing the things you need to do in a day. And, sometimes projects will go slower, but it's just a matter of just, putting your head down and getting things done. Right. And I have a very supportive wife, so it's very cool.
You're still in New York?
Still in New York.
Yeah.
Loving it. Yeah. I don't think we're leaving anytime soon.
Good. I'm trying to get myself back there. So what inspires you to write? Like, how do you write your music?
Inspired by like life events or things that have happened. I feel like that's where the inspiration comes from. Mostly like, when I met my wife, I wrote a song about that, or things like that. I can't just sit down and just write something. I think like something has to have happened. Either I was inspired by something I heard, or a live event happened, or I saw something that I thought was moving, or that's kind of where I dig deep for the
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, and I think music is a really good outlet for people too, to de-stress. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so what, a lot of the schools I've noticed, I do a lot of work with different school systems, public schools, and a lot of them are they're cutting their music programs, which is so unfortunate because I remember growing up, we had music every week.
Yeah, of course.
Like how do you, what do you recommend for kids who want to get into music, but they don't have that means from school anymore?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. There are a lot of like privately run things, just more involved in the community rather than just at a certain school, and there are scholarship programs and, like organizations like the one I used to be part of, Guitars Over Guns. I think it's still there. It's just, instead of it coming to you, you kind of have to go to it these days.
Right.
But no bias, but I think everyone should play an instrument at some point in their life.
Well, I agree in terms of, because I think it expands your mind as well, not
absolutely.
just in a musical sense, in other areas too. I think schools kind of forget that too, that when you're, music helps you calm down, it makes you more innovative and creative, and it expands your mind. So thus you end up being smarter too from an academic standpoint.
Yeah. They say that musicians have the highest acceptance rate into law and medical school.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Fun little fact for the day.
Good, because Mateo wants to go to law school, and they'll just encourage him to practice piano more.
There you go.
So what do you hope to do? Like, what is your ultimate goal with your music?
Happy and, and just keep being happy. I don't know. That's kind of seems the ultimate goal.
Hey, I think you've reached it then, because from the first day we met, you've always had a big smile on your face, and you clearly love what you do.
I do. Yeah. Ultimate goal, I guess, is just, keep doing it on a very high level and keep innovating and trying to always be a little bit better. Yeah.
And what do you do? Like, how do you, because do you use music when you're stressed out, or because you're in it, that's your profession?
Yeah, I also am very passionate about some other things. I love to cook. I love to, I've gotten into running, running's good because it's the only place I go without music or my phone. So it's like technology free, music free, just kind of like a hour meditation, running in Central Park, which is always, beautiful. Just finding other outlets to just, let your mind relax, because it's New York City. It's a busy city and you're always on the go. It's important to find those things where you can kind of decompress.
That's fantastic.
For sure.
I think it's awesome that you cook. Now that you mention it, I have seen it on your social media page. Different delicious. Are these creations that you're making on your own?
Some are family recipes. Some are creations I make on my own. Some are like, I love to read cookbooks, just through them. And so like, so some are inspired by that. I always try and say I put my own little twist on everything I do, though, for sure.
Clearly you're a very creative person.
I like the creativity, I guess.
Do you have any, now that you got into running, do you have any races that you're going to sign up for?
At the 9+1 this year with the Roadrunner, so we can run the marathon the following year. That's kind of the goal for that.
You're going to try that New York Marathon?
Yeah, in 2020. We have to get the 9+1 races in with the Roadrunners.
Wow.
And we automatically qualify. So we tried for last year and we missed. We got 8+1.
Oh, you're kidding.
Which is you run the whole 9+1 is you run 9 races and then you volunteer at one. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we missed it by 1 last year, so we didn't qualify for this year, but we're going to try again next year.
That's really cool. I mean, I ran quite a few half marathons, and I don't think I'll do the full. So.
Okay. We did the New York half this year. It was fun.
Yeah.
Beautiful course.
Was it the year I ran, it was freezing cold.
It was really cold the day we ran it. Yeah. I remember people like brought all these clothes and then we're just like kind of throwing them as they went on. Yeah.
I think the hardest part was waiting in the corral to start because you weren't moving.
Yeah, you're not moving stand because like for an hour and it's like if you started on tired legs but you don't want to sit on the ground because it's so cold. So it was
exactly. Well, do you have any upcoming shows that you're having that the public can see?
Trying to think. I'm giving the band a bit of a break because I'm trying to get the music together for the new album and finish a couple of the other projects before the end of the year. But I know we're going to be back at Birdland in February.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some things done. I always like to take off around the holidays, spend some time with family, and then kick it into high gear in the new year. So.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Augie, for joining.
Yeah, of course.
And have a fabulous holiday season and a new year.
Thank you. You as well. You as well.
Hope to see you before then.
I know. We still got to get out to come see you, Allie and I.
We're waiting. I want you to cook for us.
All right. Well, I heard Lou's a pretty good cook too, so we might have to tag team.
You guys would have a great time together.
Yeah.